What's up, YouTube? This is Cheshire Nitre coming at you with a Hieratic Dragon deck build OTK. Lots of people said that you can't run the OTK or Hieratics at all because RDM went to 1, and you must pay, bundles of cash to get the triple Carcard D. You don't actually have to play the Carcard D. The deck is slightly less consistent, but not consistent enough for me to not top at locals sometimes. Or, rather, quite often. I almost always top with Hieratics. At least, top 4, top 8, whatever. Let's get this started. Triple Tough Nui. It's a Cyber Dragon. If your opponent has a monster and you don't, you special summon him, but he can't attack that turn. That's okay. You're going to be tributing him or exiting with him, so you don't really care that he can't attack that turn. Triple Sue. You tribute a Hieratic to special the Sue, and then you can tribute a Hieratic from field or hand to destroy a spell or trap card on the field. He's really, really, really good, Popping back row is really important to this deck. You get screwed over by their, Mirror Force or Torrential Tribute, so you want to pop this stuff as quick as possible. Yeah. Triple Nepthet. Another rather important card. Some people only run 2. I chose to run 3 because I can get around him being a 5. Any deck can get around him being a 5. People bitch about not being able to go into their OTK because he's a 5, and the entire deck revolves around level 6 Xyz. But he's perfectly fine. He's good to tribute a Hieratic to special him, then tribute a Hieratic from hand or field, destroy a card, a monster on the field. Really good. Triple Asset. He isn't as good as the rest, in my personal opinion. He used to be, but not so much anymore. You can normal summon him, making his attack and defense 1,000. And his main effect is that you can choose a normal drag on your side of the field, and then all Hieratics become that level. Only when you have a bunch of random level Hieratics on your field will you be needing that card too much. Most of the time, you're going to be perfectly fine. Those are the main Hieratics, and in my opinion, you must run those specific ones. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Most people know what he does. 2800 beaters, specials a dragon from grave or hand, but to summon him, you've got to banish a dragon. But then again, that's all you have to do. Usually, though, you're going to be getting him out using Hieratic Dragon King of Adam, which I'll get to in a moment. But if he comes out that way, he's going to be a 0/0. So you can't have this random 0/0 sitting on your field, so you got to get rid of it, or, bounce it back to hand, which is what a lot of the cards in this deck do. One way to stop him from being a 0/0, Exodius. Really easy special. Return all monsters in your grave back to the deck, and then you overlay for those two into 10. If your OTK got fouled up, you just return all your dragons back to the grave. From the grave back to the deck, and then you're set to go again later. And in the meantime, you can overlay for Gustav Max. Double Trag and the Gorse. So you can overlay, and because you're going to be having a lot of empty fields, so you need to make up for all those empty fields with the Trag. Otherwise you're going to be taking a bunch of direct damage. Trag and Gorse. Double Max C to make up for this missing Carcard Ds. Draw every single time your opponent specials. Yeah, you need it. Honest, some people do, some people don't. Don't see why not. 19, so, you set them, and your opponent really can't get over a 19 on your first turn. If you hit problems, and you just flip them up, return back to hand, special the Tough Nui, go into all your OTKs. Good card. Although, I did take him out for these guys. Most people are going to run 3 Gen XL Birdmans. The reason why is because he returns a card on the field to the hand, usually your Readiest Darkness Metal Dragon. You special him, and then you synchro for an 8 if you have a 5 on the field. Or, in my case, you can also synchro for a 9. Because I run Meteor Dragons over Watt-tail Dragons or the other level 6, Luster Dragon. They're Earth, and that's a level 3. Those two make 9. Together they make Gotems. Which we'll get to in a moment. Double reload. Probably going to take out one of these reloads because I've reloaded into a reload, which was really stupid. When I decided to test running 3 on the dueling network, I reload into a reload into a reload. That sucked balls. But resets your entire hand, which is really nice. You reset your bad hand into an OTK. My body's shield if you're too cheap to get Forbidden Lances. If your opponent's going to Dark Hole, Forbidden Lance will stop one of your cards from being destroyed. On the other hand, my body as a shield will protect all of your monsters at the cost of 1,500 life points. I actually probably would run one my body as a shield and 2 Forbidden Lance if I had Forbidden Lance, but I don't. So, yeah. The big Hieratic wild card that was the first of the Hieratics to get hit, Hieratic Seal of Convocation. Wild card for Hieratics at any Hieratic you want to hand. Just one, though, which is why it's at 2. Holy Trinity. Dark Hole Monster Born Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm, Epa. Epically important, because you're scared of that back row. Just to back that up, you're running triple MST. I do not currently run it in this deck, but I would also run Windbeaks of a Giant Dragon, which says return a dragon on the field to your hand, nuke the back row. Most people say return the RDM, nuke the field, go into the OTK. Probably gonna put that back in. It's too good to not run right now. Double Pot of Duality. Rightly not run when you have Carcard D. In this deck, you're gonna need it because in any type of budget Hieratics, you're gonna need it because you need to make up for that missing Carcard D. Reveal the top 3 cards, choose one, add it to your hand. You can do that to set up for your OTK next turn. Or, draw into that Gorse if you don't have the OTK. You can't special when you use it, so, don't use it when you already have an OTK hand. Triple Reckless Screed. The misconception with the Reckless Screeds is that you can just put in the Reckless Screed in a regular Hieratic deck without running the Carcard Ds and be fine. Not true. You really need to have some more cards supporting you. You can't draw for 2 turns is the drawback, and that's a huge drawback against this deck. If your OTK gets messed up, you lose. Especially if you can't draw for 2 turns. Right. That's my main deck for budget Hieratics. My extra deck. This is indeed budget. You really can't run a budget extra deck. I'm sorry. Triple Atom. Usually about 7 to 12 a piece, except for this first ed, which would be like 20. Really, really, really good cards. You get rid of an eggs material, special any dragon you want from your deck. However, it comes out as a 0/0 and RDM. That's what you'd summon, haha. Atom becomes a 0/0. No, Atom can attack this turn. Sorry. You get over Atom not being able to attack with these guys. Guy Knight, Thunder Charger. You'd run 3 if you were running 3, or you just run 2 Atoms and then 2 Guy Knight, the Thunder Chargers. About 12 apiece. You can overlay them onto your Atoms, which is what's so good. Your Atoms go from 2,400 non-attackers to 2,600 beaters with piercing. They're really important. Double Photon Strike Bouncer. You don't like Rescue Rabbit. You don't like a lot of cards that activate card effects. This will stop them and burn them for 1,000. It's a 6, and it's a light, so it's honestable. An OTK, a really common one that you get with Hieratics, is you pop their entire field with different Hieratics, then you go with double Gaia on the field, double Gaia to the empty field, along with the Force Focus, for exactly 8,000 a game. It's fun. Volcanicosaurus. I run this over my Adris. Most people would run the Adris. I'm running Volcanicosaurus. You get rid of an angry material, like Adris, you'll end up popping a crowd. However, you also deal damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack, and then, but he can't attack directly, which, you know, isn't too much of a drawback for this card, because you're already dealing damage with it, maybe more than you would deal originally if you just had an Adris. Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav, Max. Broken as all fuck. So many good things to do with this card. Usually, you'll go Exodius and the RDM into him, and you'll deal 2k and swing for 3k and a total of 5k that turn, and that would most usually be game. Scrap Dragon, Stardust, Void Ogre. Void Ogre because he's a Shien when you have got no cards in hand, and if you're going to the OTK, you're going to end up with no cards in hand. A lot of times. Gotems, because I'm running the Meteor Dragon as my Earth, and he only needs a tuner and one or more non-tuner Earth monsters. So you play that, you end up going into a 9, and he's a 31 beat stick. Who wouldn't want that? And if you're playing X-Sabers, you contribute your opponent's X-Sabers and pop cards in their hand. Five-Headed Dragon, self-explanatory really. I side deck the Dragon's Mirror, but he's a 5k that can't be destroyed unless your opponent has an Honest. What's your opponent going to do to that? Anyways, subscribe to my channel for more. I got some really interesting decks. This is my first video, so probably not that many at the time of me posting this. Thank you for watching. Give me some criticism and comments. Tell me if I should keep on trying to edit this, or if it's good, you know, etc., etc., etc. Thank you very much. See you later.